LaShawn land that we poor people, houseless folks, displaced, gentrified, call homefulness, a homeless people solution to homelessness. Yes, I did say a homeless people solution to homelessness. We're looking at this beautiful thing called a footing. A footing, which I don't know, I'm not a builder. I've had my building skills ripped away from me by colonization. We're looking at a thing called a footing, but they have to put down before they do what's called a foundation. So here's a foundation on a basic house, right? We don't even get to see it. It's that little piece underneath. And long story short, to all of our revolutionary donors who made this possible with the bloodstained dollars while we make it possible with the teaching and the knowledge, this is $80,000 job right here. It's not something that just us poor folks or even our builders could do alone. You had to have the navigation of the paper, of the quote-unquote contractor's license. So even though most of Homefulness has been done just by people, this part we had to bring in the company called Bridges Construction, who've been hella humble and good folks with us. Now, 80 G's, I just want to say that again, of bloodstained dollars, because they make it impossible for poor people to build. So that includes permits and all these gangster moves by the city. Uncle Moot, comments?
Well, yes, no, we're here again in this historic moment. We're in, yesterday the city inspector came out here, and literally inspected by detail. I think also the notion that it's a poor people-led project, they got this tendency to think that we're doing this stuff illegally, that we're doing things wrong. But to prove them, again, we're working with Bridges Company, which is a family-owned company who has done work here in East Oakland, not only at the Women's Battle Center, which is right next door, but again, they have come up and we were approved yesterday by the city inspector.
Whoop, whoop.
And again, big ups and thanks to the Solidarity family for the folks, also for our own poor folks who for the last 10 years we have been doing workshops, where we have taught, young folks were raising class privilege, the importance about giving retribution, giving back some of the stolen resources that their ancestors, took from this land, from this native land, from the use of slavery. So we're here in this historic moment. And again, like Tanya says, it's $80,000. And the reason we went with a contractor is because there's a lot of inspections that we were afraid, not knowing, not having the man's paper, we didn't want to fail. And again, and not complete this project. And the reality that Mama D, Uncle Al, and also a lot of our displaced folks who had never had the chance, big ups also to people like the Move 9, who we follow, the Shopwell Union in Africa, the Zapatistas, who are creating their own projects, led by poor people in struggle. And so we're here, and it's a blessing. Big ups again, thanks to Corina Gold, to all the community folks who have been with us in the good times, the bad times. Yes, because there's been bad times here in our history, and some of us know what we're talking about. But through all that, we have pushed forward, and we're here, again. But we also realistically, we also ran, this costs $80,000. We still need to do the framing, which is another chunk of money that we don't have. So again, people who want to support this project, to get in contact with Poor Magazine, the Homefulness Project. And again, the second phase, because we have builders in our community, we're going to build it ourselves, but you still need the money to pay for the materials, to pay for what you need to do the framing.
Ashe, Uncle D. Allen, the powerful poet and Leon Liberator, and resident of Homefulness.
What I'm seeing here today is the bare bones beginning of what will be faux townhouses. Faux townhouses that are going to house folks that are who have experienced evictions, who have experienced homelessness, who have experienced renting substandard housing for years and years. And now we get to finally have some land that's our own. But all this is just foundation right now. Today they're going to pour the concrete down. I would love to see this as a finished product, but in order for these faux townhouses to be a finished product, we could use some financial help, some more donations. So far, this is where $80,000. This is where $8,000 of donations went to.
Beautiful. Last comments from Youth Scholar Tivu.
So it's not only $80,000, bloodstained dollars, and hard work of these people. It's also decades and centuries of our people learning, growing, and giving gifts and taking and receiving things and knowledge. And so we're finally come together after all these centuries and after all these decades of 500 something years of being enslaved and colonized to create this, our own solution to houselessness, our own solution to everything that we've been working on and fighting for. And this is the end. It's not the end, it's the beginning. It's the beginning of the new homefulness. This is homefulness. This is our vision. This is our solution.
Ashe. And yeah, we're pretty much we're blown away that we're even here, that we're even at this moment. There's so much pain and personal struggle.
Still, what you're seeing is just the beginning.
Ashe. And so yeah, you heard earlier, we can't do it without more access to more bloodstained dollars, because it's going to, even though we're going to do the framing ourselves, we need the community to come out and frame with us, support with us, pull up the houses. We still have to buy the materials. So please, if you can, donate. www.poormagazine.org and click on the Become a Revolutionary Donor. We need your help. We need your liberation. And in these freaking times where we've got the Klan clowns and the Nazi freaks, all the more reason why we need to walk, speak, teach liberation, and stop wasting our energy on domination. Ashe ho, Omateo.